Hi there, welcome back to the series of Master Python with Practice Questions, where we learn by doing. So in this session, we are going to embark on question 9. So let's start getting our hands dirty. So we are being told that UTAMU Guild is proposing a Sacco to help students save their money. Design a platform that will do the following. Welcome the students by printing the UTAMU Guild Sacco, then availing them with options for depositing money, withdrawing money, and 3 for checking the student balance. So ensure that if the user selects option 1, money is deposited and the minimum deposit should be 1,000. Then if the user selects option 2, money should be withdrawn and a minimum withdraw is 500. Then if the user selects option 3, the account balance should be displayed. So make sure that you run the program until the student decides to quit. So we are going to first of all define a function that we are going to use to perform this task. And then the function name can be Sacco transactions. Since we are going to work with a loop, we are going to store the initial value that is going to be running our program. So the first variable is going to be the account balance. And initially the student's account balance is already 0. And then I'll go ahead and define a variable called run that is going to store 1 as its initial value, and we shall be using this variable to run the program. So for us to be able to run the program, we are going to work with a while loop. So while our variable run is equal to 1, we are going to first of all make sure that we are printing this statement. So I'm going to copy it. So I'll access the print function and paste this string here, and I'll ensure that it is also being printed on a new line. So this is going to be welcome to UTAMU Guild Sacco. So having created this message that welcomes the user, we now have to create a simple menu that the user can look at and select depending on what they want to do. So I'm going to create print. So actually you can comment this as the menu. Then we use the print function. And for the first case, I'll paste this where the student will view the option to deposit money. Then we can copy this and reuse it for the other options and ensure that we are updating the indentation still. So for option 2, the student will have to withdraw their money. So we shall update this to option 2. And then for the third option, they will have to check their balance. So having created the menu, we are now going to go ahead and create a variable that is going to store the user choice or the user's option. So this is going to be student choice, which is going to be assigned. Now, since we are going to be prompting our student to enter one of these choices, we have to work with the input function such that we prompt the user by telling them to enter their particular selection. So enter your selection, enter your selection. And then this can be 1, 2, or 3. So I'll also ensure that we are casting this input from the student to an integer. So now, having created our student choice, we have to start performing the transactions based on the user selection. So I'll go ahead and add a comment performing the transaction based on the student selection. Now, for us to be able to perform these transactions, we have to cater for all the 3 options. So we have to work with the if conditions that are going to check if the option is 1, 2, or 3. So if the student choice is equal to 1, that means that the user is actually interested in depositing money. So for now, we are going to first of all pass, and else if the student choice is equal to 2, then we shall go ahead and work on those transactions for withdrawing money. Then else if the student choice is equal to 3, we shall also go ahead and pass for now. So cases whereby a student enters options that are not the ones they have to select from, Then we shall return a string that tells the student that you entered the wrong choice. Then we tell them, please select 1, 2, or 3. Okay, so now let's start working on what is required for each choice. Now for the first choice, we are being told that if the user selects option 1, money is deposited and the minimum deposit should be 1,000. So that means that the first thing we have to do is ensuring that we have a variable that is going to keep track of the deposit amount for this case. So I'll go ahead and create a variable, deposit amount, that is going to keep the amount that the student wants to deposit. So I'll copy this and update this to enter amount to be deposited, and I'm going to ensure that for each option we return a string. For example, for this case, we are going to go ahead and pass in a string literal that tells the user that we are processing a deposit transaction. So having stored our deposit amount, the first thing we are going to do is to check if the deposit amount is less than 1,000. So I'll add a comment here. So if the deposit amount is less than 1,000, we have to return a message to the student that the minimum deposit must be 1,000. So shall say if the deposit amount is less than 1,000, then we return a message that tells the student that make sure that this is on a new line. Minimum deposit is 1,000, because this is the only condition that has been provided for the first option. So cases whereby the student wants to save 1,000 or something above 1,000, we have to go ahead and perform the deposit transactions. So the first thing we have to keep track of is the account balance in a way that it has to be updated. So the account balance is going to be plus equal to the new deposit amount that the student wants to save. So having updated the account balance of the student, we have to therefore go ahead and return a message to the student by letting them know that the deposit transaction was successful. So for this case, we are just going to return something like, dear student, you have deposited. Then we pass in the deposit amount, which is going to be this, and then we also let the student know about their new account balance. So, and your new account balance is, then we pass in the account balance variable. Then I ensure that when we print it, it has a comma within the digits. Then for option 2, where the student now is interested in withdrawing money from their account, we are being told that money should be withdrawn and a minimum withdrawal is 500 shillings. So the first thing we actually want to check is a case whereby the student's account balance is 0, in a way that we do not want to perform any withdrawal transactions if the student's account balance is 0. So we are going to check if the account balance is equal to 0. Then we tell the student that your account balance is 0. So before we actually proceed, we also need to keep track of the withdrawal amount that the student wants to deduct from their account. So I'll copy this and paste it here, and this is going to be processing a withdrawal transaction. Then instead of deposit amount, this can be the withdrawal amount. Then we tell the student that enter amount to be withdrawn. So else, if the withdrawal amount is less than 500, then we have to return a message to the student that the minimum withdrawal amount is 500 shillings. So shall print. So with withdrawal transactions, there are cases whereby a student might actually try to enter a withdrawal amount that is more than what they initially have on their account. So we have to check for such conditions. So we are going to update this to else if the withdrawal amount is greater than the student's account balance, then you want to return a message to the student that the withdrawal failed and the student has insufficient funds. Then if all these conditions are false, then you have to go ahead and perform the withdraw transaction. So else, so the first thing we have to do is to update the student's account balance. So account balance. So for this case, with the fact that we are withdrawing money, we have to deduct the withdraw amount from the student's account balance. So this is going to be minus equals to, and this is the same as saying that account balance is equals to the student's account balance minus the withdraw amount. So a precise expression of this is as saying account balance minus equal to the withdraw amount. So having withdrawn, we have to return a message to the student and let them know about how much they have withdrawn and what is left on their account balance. So this is going to be, actually you can just copy this statement such that we reuse it here. So dear student, you have, instead of deposited, we are going to say you have withdrawn this much, and this is going to be the variable for the withdraw amount, and your new account balance is the account balance. So having catered for that option, we now have to go ahead and work on a case whereby the student wants to view their account balance. So we are being told that for option 3, the account balance should be displayed. So else if student choice is 3, we can print this and update it to your account balance is, then we pass in the student's account balance and then we format it with a comma. So to summarize this up, we are being told that make sure you run the program until the student decides to quit. So having catered for all these conditions with their transactions for each case, we are now going to reuse our run variable and we assign it to prompt a user to press 1 to continue or any other number to exit. So input, enter 1 to continue or any number to exit, and we shall ensure that we are casting it as well to an integer. So we have to check if the run variable is not equal to 1 as being defined above, then we have to break or to stop running the application, and we can also do this by thanking the user or the student for having used our application. So this is going to be thanks for using our Sacco. Okay, so we are now going to go ahead and call our function so that we can be able to test what we have worked on. So Sacco transactions, when I try to run the program, we can see welcome to UTAMU Guild Sacco. 1 is for depositing money, withdraw money, check balance. So enter your selection. So the first thing we are going to do is to try to perform a deposit transaction. So if I enter 1, you can see that we are having processing a deposit transaction, enter amount to be deposited. So if I wanted to save 80,000, so dear student, you have deposited 80,000 and your new account balance is this much. Enter 1 to continue or any number to exit. So we are going to continue. So for this case, we are now going to check our account balance, and you can pretty see that we are having a message that the account balance is 80,000. So we can now go ahead and try to test a withdraw transaction. Oh, my bad, I stopped the program. So we can run the program, and once again, with the fact that we are not working with any database, that means that we always have to make sure that we first make a deposit, then we can move into the other withdraw transactions. So we want to deposit, and I'm going to deposit 50,000. Dear student, deposited this much, and press 1 to continue. Then we want to perform a withdraw transaction, and I want to withdraw 30,000. So we can see that if I try to withdraw 30,000, the message I'm getting is that, dear student, you have withdrawn 30 and your new account balance is this much. So how about cases whereby we wanted to withdraw 200 shillings? So I'm going to press 1 to continue with the program, and we are trying to withdraw. So we want to withdraw 200 shillings. So we can see that we are getting a message. The minimum withdraw amount is 500 shillings. So we are going to go ahead and continue with the program by trying to deposit something that is less than 1,000. So amount to be deposited is going to be 500. Then we can see that the message we are getting is minimum deposit is 1,000. So we are going to continue with the program, and by testing a withdraw transaction whereby the amount we are trying to withdraw is actually more than what we have on the account balance. So if I enter something like maybe 1 million, we can see that we are getting the withdraw failed and then insufficient funds. So I can update this. So we are going to press 1 and continue with the program. Now we want to go ahead and check the account balance. So we can see that we are left with 20,000. So we can deposit maybe 50,000. And we can see that we are getting our account balance as 70,000. Then if I continue the program and then make a new withdraw transaction by deducting 35, we can see that we are left with an account balance of 35,000. And I'm going to continue the program by withdrawing all this money. So we can see that the account balance is 0. So now how about if we try to withdraw whereby the account balance is already 0? So I'll press 1 to continue, and then we try to withdraw, and maybe we are withdrawing 30. So we can pretty see that we are getting a message and the account balance is 0. So that means that our program is running as expected. So I'll go ahead and exit the program. Then we can see that it says thanks for using our Sacco. I hope you found this insightful and very helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and see you again in the next session.